Microphone on. I don't have my fancy gaming rules logo on this one. Good evening, everybody. Let us know if you can hear us. I'm using the laptop, so obviously not at home, at Luke's house. Yeah.
You finally got here.
I'm going to wait 5 seconds until somebody says AV is all good. Thank you very much, Adam.
It's all good.
I'm absolutely knackered, so I'm basically going to read a list of 30 games and then go to bed. That's my plan.
Well, hopefully my plan as well, because some of us have to drive for 7 hours tomorrow.
Is that all? I thought it was more. No, I told somebody today it was about 9 hours.
Well, it's
Well,
it's 9 hours if you factor in waiting at the channel and then actually going on it, yeah. But it's about 7 hours of actual physical driving.
So when we were in Mauritius on honeymoon a few weeks ago, and we were chatting with one of the taxi drivers, and I assumed that everybody knew that there was a tunnel between England and France. But one of our drivers
right.
Well, I just assumed everybody did. And one of our drivers in Mauritius, we were telling him about it, and he said, "Well, where can you go on holiday?" I said, "Well, we can go to France." And he said, "Oh, do you have to get in a boat?" And we said, "No, there's a channel tunnel." He was a tunnel.
Well, this is why you were in Mauritius.
Well, we're in Mauritius, yeah.
Oh wow, I thought you meant like someone local.
No. And he said, "Is it under the water? Can you look up and see the fishes?" Well, no.
I mean, it's under the water because it's a tunnel, but yeah.
But anyway, so it's 2 or so hours to the tunnel. 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours, and then the tunnel over, and then
about 4.5
4 hours. Drive past Wankham.
Yeah.
Always have a giggle when we drive. Right. Okay. So
we have a giggle if you're awake for it. Don't you?
And then we will be arriving at Essen. I don't know what time.
I haven't really thought of it.
What time's the tunnel booked?
9:54.
Oh right. So we'll get there for about 11. So we'll probably be in Essen for 5.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Cool. Shaky camera due to the laptop. Yes, if we don't lean on the table, we'll be fine. Because normally at home I will have the laptop on a stand and not touching the table.
Yeah, laptop's on a gaming table.
So I won't touch the table.
We won't touch these.
No touching the table. Right. So I've been through on the way here. I've been doing this for the last few days. Actually, I've been going through the Essen Spiel preview list, which is put together by Eric Martin from Board Game Geek. With contributions from publishers who can add games to it, which is a list of, well, it's supposed to be a list of everything new that's coming out at Essen.
Well, you use the BGG one, I use Tabletop Together. So,
okay. But doesn't that get its information
it's probably
from BGG?
driving the same source.
It does, it gets its information from BGG.
It's because it's the one that I can easily scroll through and like ignore about 90% of the games that are there. So.
Yeah. But one thing that I always find a little odd is that there are games on that list that aren't available at Essen.
Sorry, James's comment.
What's he putting?
He said your hair merges with fizz
Does
kicks.
it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
When he was on there, so it did look like you actually had a full head of hair.
So there's a few games that are on that list which are on my list, but they're not available. They're not even on Kickstarter yet.
But they're on the
the list, and that is because there will be a prototype version of that game there for people to see. Therefore, it is technically eligible to be added to the list.
Right.
Even though if I was a punter going to Essen to see what games to buy, and you see that and you go, "Oh, this looks really interesting," and then you find out, well, it's not going to be there at all.
That would be the thing, because I know I've mentioned like I barely found like about 12, 13 games to get excited about. Yeah. That is ones that I can get there and buy.
Right.
There are probably about 20 total, maybe 20 something total on my like printed out list.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them do include demos, but I didn't want to talk about those because it's kind of like, well, it's a demo. It's only going to tell me so much.
Graham is saying that they say that they're demos and you can filter them out on the list. Right.
Yes.
It's just me not bothering using filters. I just go around.
Yeah, you can filter out those ones, and it's kind of like, yeah, there's a few demos that I do want to go and I'm quite excited to try out, but because it's just a demo, it's like, I didn't put those for like top 10 material. This is more like here's 10 things I want to buy, and I get there.
And I was never going to be a bit... Right, the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to run through all of the games that would be on my most anticipated list from Essen if I hadn't already got them and I hadn't already covered them on the channel.
Oh yeah, I had a few of those.
The reason why I'm mentioning these is I feel it would be unfair on these games and these publishers to not mention them, because for most people, these are new games coming out at Essen. I was lucky enough to get early copies of these games and I have covered them on the channel already. So for me, I'm not going to go and look at them because I've already got them. But we have Barcelona, Great Western Trail New Zealand, Voidfall, War of the Three Sanchos, Zhangguo, which I've only just covered recently, I've put Septima on the list because I think it is now.
It's fulfilling, but
fulfilling.
I've had the fulfillment warning thing, but I doubt it will arrive until probably mid-October.
Gin, which I covered on Friday, the new game from Hull Games, The Warp, and Draft and Write Records. So those are ones which I would have gone and had a look at for various reasons, but they've already been covered on the channel.
Yeah, a few did that for me, and I didn't include those. But I did talk about them.
The next thing I'm going to mention is expansions, because there's a lot of expansions on this list. So I'm going to bundle all of them together.
I'm curious what other ones you found there.
There's loads. Underwater Cities has got a little mini expansion.
Oh, that doesn't count.
It does.
It's a titchy little card promo
I don't
pack.
care. I'm excited about it.
That doesn't count. Why are you excited over a few cards?
Because it's Underwater Cities, which is a fantastic game.
Agreed.
So there you go. There's an expansion for Newton, which again, I think it's... I don't know.
It's on my list, but it's a map.
Newton's fantastic. Love the game, so definitely getting that. Fayum, which I'm very surprised had an expansion. It's a Freedom and Freezer game from a few years ago that didn't... It wasn't that popular. I really liked it.
It really wasn't.
It wasn't that popular. I've played it 2 or 3 times and I really like it. So I was surprised that it got an expansion. So I like the game and I'm going to be picking that up.
It's got some mega fans. I never got a chance to play that one.
Yeah. So. Concordia's getting another expansion. Luke's favourite game. So obviously I'm picking that up. I also found that Pictures has got an expansion.
Well, more cards.
It's just more cards. But Pictures is a fantastic game. So,
yeah, but I was going to say...
Well, it's an expansion that I'm looking forward to picking up.
What are you going to say? Here it is, Pictures expansion, more cards. Yeah, next.
That's it. But I'm telling you, I'm going to go and pick a copy of it up because I think Pictures is a fantastic game.
It might as well be a promo.
Lost Ruins of Arnak expansion, which I have a special version of.
I was going to say, you've got that already, haven't you?
I've got it. That should actually be... the reason why it's not on this list, I haven't covered it.
I've been playing the campaign for most of the week before the review was.
I do physically have the Lost Ruins of Arnak latest expansion, but I haven't covered it on the channel.
Get it.
So it's there. Ark Nova expansion.
You have that already?
No.
Oh, right.
So I'm picking that up.
Oh, I was going to say, we're all picking it up, and it has to be the first thing we grab.
So Ark Nova expansion.
That was my number 1.
Revive expansion.
Nah.
I've already got it, but again, that Revive, one of my top 10 games for last year, so definitely picking that up.
I've still got it.
The Boone Lake expansion. So Boone Lake's getting an expansion. I really like Boone Lake, so there's that. So Micro Macro, number 4 is either out or coming out soon. And there's a little extra pack that I found that's available with some extra cases that you need all 4 copies of the game. Because each game, if you don't know Micro Macro, it comes with a massive map.
Oh, I hate it when publishers do that, though. They feel like, did you buy everything we already have?
Yeah, what they've done,
you can't have this.
I didn't realise this. All 4 maps actually fit together. So it's one huge mega map. And they've got some cases that actually take place across all 4 of them.
It's a neat little idea.
So I think that's pretty cool.
It is one of those FOMO horrific ones, though.
Next, Bitoku getting an expansion, which was a surprise to me. But Bitoku, I love the game.
That's not a surprise at all.
I do already have that. No, what surprises me about Bitoku is it
although Devir don't actually do a lot of expansions, period.
They don't. Bitoku was like the number 1 game on the hotness list 2021.
Something like that, yeah.
And I remember picking it up because I remember it's the last time I got the train back from yours and I read the train on the way back. I remember that. Bitoku is already a heavy game.
Yeah.
So when the expansion was announced, I was like, well, I've got to get it because I love Bitoku.
How much more do you want to add to it?
I don't want... I think it's a small box, so I don't think it's much.
More pieces, more 2 hours more game.
I've got the Revive expansion on twice. I'm only going to get it once.
Yeah. I need to sort out my copy.
Furnace. Have you played Furnace?
Yeah, meh.
Yeah. See, I think Furnace is a really nice game. So there's an expansion for that, which is also out.
You put the theme of 19th century cold and iron. It's going to get that so much. I played it a couple of times. I thought it was all right.
So there's all the expansions. So that's 10 expansions already. Right.
There were expansions with your one, but my top 3 were expansions.
Really?
You know. Yeah, because I was looking forward to expansions more than I was actual games.
Okay.
And you already mentioned one of them. You haven't mentioned the other 2, but yeah.
There is another game that should have been on this list in the games that I've already got and already covered on the channel.
Oh yeah, that one.
Which is Nucleum.
I was going to say, yeah.
So Nucleum would probably be, if I was to take my work hat off, Nucleum would be my number 1 most anticipated game for Essen because it's absolutely right up my street. Everything that I knew about the game before playing it ticked all of my boxes. now that I have played it and have covered it on the channel, it's a bit weird for me to say, oh, it's my number one most anticipated game from Essen when I've already got it and played it 4 times.
But is it your number one play this year? Because you went all goo goo gaga over Voidfall.
It's not my number one game of this year.
So that's Voidfall then, right?
Yeah.
It was one of those two.
Nucleum right now is definitely in my top 5 of this year. I don't exactly know where it's going to be in my top 10, but I doubt anything's going to top Voidfall. And now that we've seen all of the new games coming out at Essen, I am pretty confident that Voidfall is going to stay my number one game for 2023. You'll find out in the summer of 2024.
I was going to say, we'll find out.
But it's a safe bet that Voidfall is. So anyway, Nucleum, Nucleum, very.
So when's the wedding between you and Turksy then?
We've already done it.
So you're already alone.
It's in secret. So other games that are coming out, and please bear in mind that I'm actually going to be working for Board and Dice at Essen this year. But put that aside for a minute. They've got 2 new puzzle escape room games coming out this year. SideQuest 7th Sea and SideQuest Nemesis. Me and Vicky absolutely love puzzle-style escape room games, but there's loads of them. Some of them are big hits for us. Some of them are not so great. I've played a demo of the Nemesis one, and it was very good. Really, really enjoyed it.
I was going to say, I like the concept behind it. I think but it's gone past that stage of, all right, I'm done with escape room games. Right. Like, I've played them to death and I've got my favourites and I'll happily go to escape room in real life. But then when I see, like, oh, here's another set of them, it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. So, so both of the side quest games. Moving on to Vladimir Suhi. Evacuation is very high on a lot of people's list because it's a Vladimir Suhi game. So he's done.
I gave it an honourable mention.
You gave it an honourable, right? Okay.
It didn't meet the 10. It got an honourable mention.
You might know more about it than I do because I don't know much other than what it looks like.
Other than the fact that it's something about deconstructing a planet to move to another planet and build up there or something. But I mean, Suhi and Delicious Games are a hit and miss for me, so I haven't gone.
They've been mostly a hit for me, some more than others.
They made Underwater Cities, which I loved, and then since then they've done Praga Woodcraft and Messina 13 whatever or something, and all of those were like 6s. I never really got into those 3.
So Evacuation, I'm playing it on Wednesday night. My plan is to get into the halls on Wednesday, pick up my copy of Evacuation and play it on Wednesday night. In fact, we've already got it planned. One of my patron supporters has read through the rules and he's going to teach me how to play on Wednesday night. So that is happening.
That'll be a long one.
The other game that I'm looking forward to from Delicious Games is Shipyard. Shipyard is an old game from 2007
or 11. 7 or 11,
or 8.
It's old.
Yeah. Now, Shipyard first came out when I was living in Taunton. Because I remember I came back, Ben Hodgson stayed over for the night, and the next morning, me and him played Shipyard 2-player 3 times. I got that memory in my mind. So it was when I lived in Taunton, which was only for 2 years, which was between 2007 and 2009. So it's probably 2007.
Yeah, there was no.
Graham says 2009. Willem says 2009.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dune Uprising, probably not S, I don't think. No, too soon.
So Shipyard is basically a new version. I don't think they've changed the rules, but I think they've tweaked a couple of the controversial contracts that people said were a bit OP. But it's had a complete new graphical overhaul and redesign. As a fan of the original game, that's why I'm looking forward to this one. White Castle.
What is that game about?
So
everyone's going mad for it, and I don't know what visually it's talking about.
Here's the funny story about White Castle. Well, it's not that funny. I've been sent an early copy of White Castle.
Right.
It's been played 3 times in my house.
Okay.
I haven't played it.
So Loki's played it?
No. People come round, and sometimes when we're doing a live stream upstairs, there are other people downstairs playing games.
And they nick your go.
And a few weeks ago, there was a group of people downstairs and they didn't know what to play. And I got White Castle out and I said, well, I've heard this is really, really good. Off you go. And they sat down and they learnt it and they played it. And they all said, this is absolutely fantastic.
This is the thing. I barely noticed it because Devier Games, I don't think, have made a game that I've gone massive for.
Right.
Even the recent Bamboo I think I tried was like, it's fine, but I'm over it already. But I kept hearing everyone saying, like, White Castle's great, White Castle, why have you mentioned this on your list or something? And it's like, all right, fine, let me just look it up on BGG. Dice placement and some okay-ish artwork or something. And I thought, what is it I'm missing that's getting everyone excited for it?
The designers. The designers' pedigree. It's the same designers as Red Cathedral and various other games.
And? You got to sell me on more Red Cathedral.
Well, Red Cathedral's fantastic.
if you don't mind playing it for an hour longer than it should be. But yeah, the AP in that is horrible.
Well, it takes about an hour and a half for a game, so
it should take 30 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, the design is pedigree, production quality is great, and everybody who's played it at my house has said it's a great game. And I've not played it, so I don't actually know that much about it, other than it looks good. It's
going to have to be a one to find and demo just to find out what is going on with it.
So yeah, White Castle, definitely looking forward to that. Coup no Horror from CGE. So this is the first year where, because I've been doing work for CGE for like 10 years or so. This is the first year. Oh no, in fact last year. This is the second year. Starship Captains I had nothing to do with.
You had nothing to do with that one, though.
And Coup no Horror I've had nothing to do with. So I didn't play the game. I haven't done any videos for it or anything like that. But again, everybody I know that has played it right back to UK Games Expo, and in fact before UK Games Expo, everybody has been saying it's great.
Well, I hope so, because that was my 5.
Right, that was.
It may look like it needs a serious colour facelift, but
it's thematic.
It's thematic, but come on, it's not going to win any art awards. But the concept of that price market is what's selling me on it. It's like, I want that to give me that old feudum feel with the guilds. I'm always a fan of dynamic. Markets, there's more silver that's appeared, therefore the price of silver goes down and things like that. That players have an impact on us. That's what's putting that one up. So I'm hoping that stays true. Yeah. So Coup no Horror from CGE, definitely high up on the list. World Wonders from Arcane Wonders, I don't know much about. Nor do I, but it just looks like a nice cover. So.
It's on the list. The front cover looked interesting. But then I did take a bit of a look at it. Arcane Wonders actually contacted me a few weeks ago and said, how are you fixed for doing a how to play video on this? And I went, if you can wait till August 2024. And they went, no, we kind of need it after Essen. And I said, no, I'm not able to do it. But I looked into it and it does look like my kind of game.
It's on my, I didn't mention it on my list, but it's on my sheets. I didn't have a look at that one.
Planet Nubo. Another one that's been getting a lot of buzz.
I don't think I even heard of it.
Andreas Odenhall, who did Cooper Island and other games. What else has?
I think I bounced a little.
What else has he done?
What's he done other than Cooper Island?
Yeah, he's done Cooper Island. He's done quite a few. This one was getting quite a lot of buzz, so I had a look into it. And Oda did actually do a sort of playthrough video himself in English. So thank you very much for doing that.
This could be one of the things actually. A lot of these games that are coming out that I've kind of glossed over, are all done by designers that I haven't gone mad for in the past. So maybe it's just their year to shine now.
But he's actually, a couple of years ago or last year, I think he formed his own production company. So they did Applejack last year, which I didn't play.
Applejack was theirs.
Yeah.
Ah, right.
Yeah, which is an Uwe Rosenberg. It might be just Uwe Rosenberg.
It looked nice, but it didn't get a lot of positive buzz. That
one. So Planet Nubo.
I looked at it briefly. I don't think I demoed it.
Expansion. Age of Innovation.
Yeah. We can happily talk about Ark Nova expansion.
No.
Why not?
We've done the expansion.
That's the best game coming out this show. Come on.
Age of Innovation ticks all of my boxes.
Well, yeah, because if Terra Mystica and Gaia Project ticked all your boxes, it's the same game.
They did, but I no longer play Terra Mystica.
True, because Gaia Project revamped the tracks.
But I've not read much about this, but what I have read about it, it looks like it's going to revitalise.
TM 1.5.
Or
maybe 2.0.
It looks like it is a redone version of Terra Mystica.
The title is so ironic, though.
Because
it's called Age of Innovation, and it's literally the same game with a few tweaks. It's like, innovation be damned.
I don't know. So you think it should be Terra Mystica 2nd Edition?
I feel, okay. I feel like make it Terra Mystica 2nd Edition.
Let me know. Let me know what you think.
Because I've seen like Board Game Ramblings talk about it quite a bit because they love the base game or something, and I just look at it and go, it's the same game. You've just literally streamlined a few bits, or you've improved on a few aspects. It's like Birmingham Brass. It's not its own game.
Okay. Forest Shuffle.
That was...
that's got to be on your list.
It was 6 or 7, I don't know particularly how the game plays, but I took one look at the artwork and thought, yes.
I thought you'd like that.
Yeah, and everyone has been telling me on comments, this is great because they play it on BGA.
It's on Board Game Arena already, and I've heard lots of good things about Forest Shuffle from lots of people.
I refuse to go and play it on BGA. I want to find out at Essen, but that's like pretty much on my buy list because it will be a cheap, nice card game.
So the next one is from Luke's favourite designer, Alexander Pfister.
So that's why I haven't heard about Evenfall. A couple of people mentioned that, and I thought, what's Evenfall?
So Evenfall would have gone completely under my radar, and probably has gone under a lot of people's radars. But
a few people have gone Google for
okay,
it, yeah.
Alexander Pfister messaged me about 6 months ago and said, I've got a new game coming out called Evenfall. So that's how I knew about it. But otherwise, it would have been one that you maybe have scrolled past. So I don't know much about Evenfall other than it's from one of my favourite designers. So I'm picking a copy of that up.
Yeah. I was mentioned Zoo Tycoon, yeah. That was one of the ones that I got before they did that list. And I have played it a few times. You have to wait till after Essen for that review.
Pirates of Maracaibo. I'm going to be covering that on the channel. Assuming I
thought that was an expansion.
No, it's not. Assuming I don't come back from Essen with some kind of con crud, on Wednesday the 11th of October, I will be doing a 2-player playthrough of Pirates of Maracaibo. So it will be the first stream that I do after getting back from Essen.
Is that a lighter spin-off?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, basically. It's. I mean, you look at the board and it's the same style and everything about it.
The Rena Roses thing or whatever it was.
So I think it's a... Yeah, it's a shorter, lighter version with the same theme.
Is that the same sort of card mechanic?
I'm not sure.
As I say, if they make a spin-off with that card mechanic, but then trim off some of that excess Navy track thing or whatever it was, then sold, because the cards I loved in that game.
Spellbook. This is from Space Cowboys. Now I know about Spellbook because I do some work behind the scenes for Space Cowboys that a lot of people don't know about. In that I do rulebook consultancy for them. So what Space Cowboys do is they get a game, they do the rulebook for it, and then they send it to me. And I don't edit the rulebook as such. I test the rulebook. So I remember a number of months ago, probably 6 months ago, I basically spent half a day reading the rulebook and then trying to play the game from the rulebook. And then I went back to them with loads of feedback about the rulebook to say, this is the bit that's not clear, this is the bit you need to fix, etc., etc. So it's not exactly editing as such, it's more checking their rulebook is
it's okay. A proofread,
it's not even a proofread. It's checking it, testing it.
I mean, like a playtester should be doing it. Like a playtester should be doing. Here's the game, here's the book, try and play it.
And the game was fantastic, and I absolutely loved it. So I've been waiting for this to come out for ages.
I suppose I haven't heard about it because I normally keep on top of what Space Cowboys does. I think the title might have made me go past it on Tabletop Together and just ignore it from the title.
So, on the Board Game Geek list, it's on there as German only.
That could be why, because...
And I don't know why. And I've mailed my contact at Space Cowboys and said... Where's the English version?
Yeah.
Why is the English version not done?
Tabletop Together Tool does have a bulk operation to cancel everything that is not in the English language, and if it was only in there in German, I would have lost it.
Yeah, so I'm hoping it's going to be available in English because I have played it and I thought it was a really good game.
All right, I'll write that on my list.
I've put this on the list just because I'm picking it up, but I'm picking up a review copy of Cat in the Box from Bezier Games, so it's not new at all. But
are you talking about the weird?
No, I'm talking about the little version.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because I don't own it. I have played it. I love the game. And I contacted Bezier and I said, could I have a review copy of this? This is like months and months ago.
Yeah.
And they said, yes, but you're in the UK. And I went, yeah, but I'm going to Essen. Can you wait for 5 months?
Yeah.
And they went, sure. So I mailed them a month ago and I said, are we still on for this? And they went, yeah. So I'm happy because I'm going to pick up my copy of Cat in the Box, which I think is excellent.
I've still got it downstairs. I do like it. I need to play it some more, though.
I've got one more thing on my list, which is High Season, the Grand Austria Hotel Roll and Write. I like Grand Austria Hotel. I like Roll and Write games. I like what Lookout games do. So that's on the list as well.
I mean, to be fair, the game could use a sort of smaller spin off it, but I think any time I saw the words Roll and Write, I ignored it. And I'm sort of done with that genre.
Oh no, I still like them. So 2 others on the list, which are ones which I am excited about, but these are not out yet. These will be available.
One I agree, one I don't.
For either looking at or getting a playtest of. And the first one is Galactic Cruise. And I will be honest with you, I can tell you right now, I am going to be professionally involved in this game. I'm doing rulebook consultancy on it. I'm doing a tutorial and playthrough video for it. One of the designers is one of my supporters, and I'm helping him out with all sorts of things about it. Dranda Games, which is a UK-based company, they are going to be doing the UK production distribution of this game, and they are going to be at Essen with a copy of Galactic Cruise. Now,
for demos, which
for demos.
I'm good, as I say, I get on well with the designer of there, so I think hopefully I will get in a demo of that, because theme-wise alone, I want to check that one out.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you're working on the rulebook, because like I say, I don't expect the rulebooks to be fantastic. Like, unless, Lacerda rulebooks go through like 100 read-throughs or something like that.
Yeah.
Dranda Games, not as much. So if you're helping out on that,
well, this isn't a Dranda Games production. I don't know how much Dranda Games are going to be involved,
right?
but they are. I mean, we can speak to them and find out. But because the designers are not going to be at Essen and Dranda Games are, and they're going to be doing the UK distribution of it. But I don't think they're going to be. I'll speak to Aidan and Simon and find out.
So find out
what their involvement is. I'm not editing the rulebook. I'm just doing a rulebook test on it.
You're the play tester, yeah.
To see, But Ian O'Toole has done the artwork. I mean, you see, if you just look up the front cover on BGG already, you're like, it's Ian O'Toole, so it looks fantastic. And I think Lacerda complexity is the level of complexity of this game. So they know that they need a good rule book, and we'll find out.
Yeah, that's high on the list. This one, not so much.
And I can tell you now, my most anticipated game for 2024.
Please tell me you're just saying that.
No, I'm not.
You really anticipating this one? With that title, forget the designer name. With that title,
the title's a bit quirky.
A bit,
right? I cannot believe. I mean, I said this a month ago. I cannot believe that in September 2023, I already know what my number one most anticipated game for next year is. And the reason why I can't believe that is because, unlike Luke and most other content creators, you are aware of what's coming out in the next year, and you do these top 10 games I'm looking forward to next year. I haven't got the faintest clue. Normally, I either know, but it's a secret, like Undaunted.
It's not. We only normally get that from like the old newsletter or looking on BGG, or what's already listed on BGG or so. There's only so much. Or it could be Kickstarters, which are easy enough to know if they're coming out next year.
So I never normally know what's coming out next year. But Deep Print Games do fantastic games, really good quality games. Both in terms of production, graphic design, and the style of games that they choose. I'm friends with the guy who runs Deep Print Games. I've known him since 1990.
I'm trying to remember what they've done. I think I've got
games that you'll hate.
I feel like I've got something that
they've done a lot.
I can't remember.
They've done a lot. But Deep Print Games have been around a few years, and the style of games that they produce and choose to work on are very good. Stefan Feld.
Joy.
Okay. One of my favourite designers. Absolutely love Stefan Feld. And Victor Kabilki, if I've pronounced his name correctly. You've no idea who he is.
No.
So he's a developer, and he's also a rulebook editor. And I've been a fan of Victor's for many, many, many years. And Victor actually does a lot of really good development work on games with Alexander Pfister. So he was on Sky Mines, the original.
Right.
Mombasa.
I was going to say
was Alexander Pfister. Sky Mines was Alexander Pfister and Victor. And I spoke to Alex about this, and he said that Victor actually did a lot of work on Mombasa.
Right.
So it was only fair that he put his name on Sky Mines, because he did a bit on that as well, did a lot of that as well. And there are some rule books out there that I have read over the years, and if a rule book's good, I always look in the back to see who the editor was.
Right.
And Victor's name has popped up on more than one occasion. I was already excited about it. I saw the front cover.
I don't think you even mentioned the title yet.
It's called Civolution, which is a bit of a silly name, I have to admit. But it sounds like it's a civilization game. Tick. Deep Print Games. Tick. Stefan Feld. Tick. And then Victor's name on it as well. And I was like, yeah.
If it's got a title like that, though, I bet you the civilization theme is not going to be what sort of civ game you think. I'm thinking more Civilizations or whatever it was called, like those old games there. And also, this is Feld. It's not going to be thematic.
Exactly. No, so
I know some. I know a couple that say that judging by the title, like Sad Face or something. When you've got like 1,000, 2,000 games to go through on Tabletop Together Tool, you've got to edge them out somehow. And covers and titles do have to be one of the things, because if you in this day and age, you should have no excuse of making your game look bland or sound pretentious or sound stupid and quirky. I mean, Spellbook could be a fantastic game, and I certainly want to check it out now. But that is like one of the most generic, common fantasy titles for a game. You know, how's that supposed to get me excited for it?
Absolutely. So I'm ending on a game which is, and I think Ross is asking, is it available for demo? I don't even know if it is available for demo. I mean, it might be. It might be. Or it might just be there saying, look, this is a game that... No, I think it is available for demo.
I think I saw it on the list somewhere.
I'm pretty sure that they've got it available for demo.
I feel like it was, because I might have looked on the list again recently, because it does keep adding more to the tools. And I know I saw one by Stefan Vell, which was Civolution.
That's it.
So, yeah.
But it is just demo only. It's not out till next year, because I have to admit, as soon as I saw the name of the game, the front cover, the publisher, the designer, within 30 seconds, I'd sent a message to Deep Print Games and said, please can I do a how to play video for this game?
Right.
And I'm not seeking work anymore. I am not actually going out of my way to ask for work, except for that.
I was like, what was the theme of Spellbook again?
It's a spellbook. You're making a spellbook.
Civolution,
I have no idea.
I don't know if Graham's been like funny or not. Is it the theme is about taking an exam to be a god? I don't know if he's referring to Civolution or something else on there. I thought that was Spellbook.
That's not Spellbook.
Right.
No, a spellbook, you're just making spells and trying to get points, I think. Something like that.
It would make sense.
But that's it. So how many crossovers did we have? I mean, I didn't have 10. I had 30.
You had like 1 million, but yeah.
Ark Nova expansion.
Let's say, Ark Nova expansion, yeah, of course, that's the one thing that I will go, like, I will
you had evacuation. No,
that was the thing. So it was a Kutna Horror, Ark Nova expansion, Forest Shuffle.
So 3. Is that it?
And, well, like I say, I wasn't including demos, so we're not talking stuff like Galactic Cruise and that, but...
so 3
that's the 3.
Okay.
That's the 3. So you've missed out. Well, I would say you've not played the War of the Ring card game, have you?
I have.
Oh, you have. All right. So you weren't so much into.
I've forgotten to add it to the list.
Oh, right. So the solo expansion for that.
War of the Ring card game is getting an expansion, which I've already agreed I'm picking up a copy. Apologies, I forgot to add it to this list.
Yeah, they're mailing me mine afterwards, but I have played it at the Games Expo already with one of the guys at Ares, and yeah, it is a very straightforward solo mode to use. So I'm definitely on with that.
If they're mailing you a copy afterwards, I might go back to my contact and say, because she said pick it up at the show.
What she said to me is like only so many copies there or something.
Exactly. Like. Okay, I'll drop her an email.
You haven't mentioned Concordia Landmarks. That was on my list.
Concordia.
Oh, sorry, no. You made me say Concordia.
I was going to say, what's this?
I feel dirty. No, Cascadia.
Just before Luke says this, he's done his own top 10 most anticipated games from Essen. I will put a link to it in the description of this video so you can go and watch that.
Thanks.
It's a pre-recorded video. It's not a live one.
But Cascadia Landmarks.
I haven't played Cascadia.
What?
I haven't. I haven't.
In
played
all this
Cascadia.
time, you have not played Cascadia.
So I'm aware that Cascadia Landmarks is very high on a lot of people's lists.
It's definitely like a top 10 gateway game.
And if I have played Cascadia, then is it a standalone game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Landmarks is an expansion to it.
But so that's why it's not on here because I don't.
I'm just shocked no one's even like somehow got you into a game of Cascadia. But
remember, I played Dune Imperium like 3 years after everybody else was playing.
True. Yeah. I'm trying to remember. We already had Forest Shuffle and that.
Forest Shuffle.
Ag.
Can't remember.
Well, like I say, it was hard to come up with after the listings. Oh. Well, yeah, Redwood, or whatever that sit-down games are doing. They had it on Kickstarter as the one where you're going around taking like photographs or something, and you've got the templates on the map to kind of see what scenery you're picturing out or something. It looks beautiful in one of those Zen games I wish to go because I like the nature ones. Ludonauts deduction game they're bringing out. God knows how you pronounce it. It's like archaeologic or something. I don't know, but it's.
Okay.
It looks pretty cool from the cover. Yeah, the title's annoying, but it's meant to be another one of those like straight up deduction games.
Okay.
And stuff given that Tawanaku and various other ones like Planet X.
Not played.
Yeah, but Vane, I love deduction games. That's always a kicker in there.
Okay.
But yeah, trying to remember some of the others. Yeah, 3 of them were expansions. Oh yeah, Path to Civilization. Not on your one?
It popped up yesterday. I was looking at it, but. I just scrolled past it because I didn't know much about it.
I must admit, I didn't at first, and I didn't give it too much thought.
It's got the word civilization in the title, so why are you interested?
I like Civilization games. Mm-hmm. If they're they're familiar ones, I tend to like them. It's just some of them go a bit beyond the Call of Duty to make them stupidly long. But At first, I didn't necessarily go mad for it because I thought, okay, that sounds a little generic, and I didn't recognize the designer and publisher at the time.
Yeah.
But then I sort of watched like Dice Tower's like preview top 10 or something, and Tom talked about it more.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, so card-based CV game, about an hour to 2 hours or so, and sounding almost a bit like a kind of Meteor Seven Wonders in a sense. And it's like,
have you got a pen in this room?
Somewhere, yeah.
Rise.
No, Path to
Civilization.
I'm trying to remember which other ones are on my list. That was why it's so hard to come up with a list because I mean, Evacuation was an honourable mention. So was Imperial Miners, and I had to talk about Nucleum because people would have had my head off. I didn't. But just trying to remember some of the ones that were lower on the list. That's
all right. I'll put a link. I'll put a link in the
well,
video.
I'll say that I don't want to spoil the entire list. Yeah.
Or if somebody else wouldn't mind doing it, because I might fall asleep straight after this. But yeah, Luke's own top 10 video of games he's looking forward to.
But the thing is, like I said, we found out a lot of these games you're looking forward to are by the designers or sequels to that games that I wasn't a fan of before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there were never going to be a lot of crossovers on this list, and there's a lot of these that, And
I mean, Arnak I've already got and played to death.
This is only a small section of games. There are probably, because again, there's 2,000 games on the list, or however many games there are on the list. You scroll down, we've only got limited time. Sometimes you have to you see the name, you see the front cover, and your brain has to make a decision. And we might be missing some hidden gems. And this happens every year. There's probably some absolutely fantastic game tucked away back in the Hall 4, which is number 300 on the hotness list, that nobody's heard of, that turns out is an absolute amazing game. And we would have probably just scrolled past it, and we don't see it. It happens every year. We have to.
We can't see every single game and just look at it in detail. But the idea is that if I can ignore most of them, get the ones I'm desperate for, even if it's not that many. The idea is that once I've sorted that out, the rest of the convention is then going around trying to find out the stuff I missed. And that's how I find stuff like Coffee Roaster and some of the other games I found. Like, I mean, I don't know. There's no particular game necessarily from something like Career Board Games and Taiwan Board Design that I say I'm super excited for, except for one because I've just remembered it. But they tend to do a lot of cool, quirky games like Vegetable Stock and a few others. So it's like, okay, I want to check them out. And I have just remembered what the number 10 was. It was Coffee Rush.
Okay.
It was a career board games. And mainly the only two reasons I want it is A, I like coffee, so the theme's already there, running the barista and that. But also because in the components, they have the little ingredients as little plastic pieces and actual, I think they're glass, I'm hoping they're glass, but little glass cups, like coffee mugs, that you put the little things in it. So surely, I mentioned it at the feed, it's like, I'm so shallow looking at this, but I'm sorry, but if that's cheap, that just looks so nice.
I think the advantage that I've got at Essen is that I'm going to be going back to the hotel every night, and there's probably about 20 or 30 people that I know who are going to Essen.
At the same hotel. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, at the same hotel, or even the Ibis next door, or even the one opposite, and we're all going to be meeting up in an evening. And these are people who will be spending all of their days
and money
walking around and getting demos. And that is the way that I find out about these other games, because my Essen is demoing in the morning and then meetings and seeing people that I know. It's very different. When I first started going to Essen 23 years ago, I would go to Essen, I would be there when the hall's open, I would be demoing games non-stop, I'd then go back to the hotel, we'd be then playing games till 2 a.m, we'd get a few hours sleep, and then we'd be back at it the next day. Now, I don't play a single game during the fair, because I'm just working and meeting and talking to people. So it's very, very different for me now.
So I get a few of the demos, but because we know like 20 people at this hotel, we're literally just gonna we're just gonna go back there in the evening and just say, right, who's bought what? We're just gonna get it out now.
It'll be people like Graham, Hilmar, and loads of other people that are probably in the chat.
Ceres, that was it. Thank you, Dark Mind.
Ceres. Oh yeah, I saw that on the list.
Ceres from Artipia Games, because they are. I mean, as much as I love Pursuit of Happiness and that, they are due another hit because it's been a little while, and the game does sound quite cool.
Okay,
an asteroid mining game.
I did see it, and again the front cover made me
absolute brain fart. I didn't remember that, but yes, thanks, Dark.
So yeah, thank you in advance.
Graham spoiled it. There you go. The entire list is there.
Thank you in advance to everybody who is going to spend their time at Essen and
expansion nonsense,
telling us about all of the good games. So anyway, I'm going to be doing these live streams every night from the hotel room. So the first one will be tomorrow night. We probably won't have played any games tomorrow, and I'm not going to tell you about the 7-hour journey that we have, but Well, I might. So tomorrow's live stream is going to be basically, yes, I've arrived in in Germany. Maybe we'll play a game with just one in the bar or something. I don't know.
Depends what games anybody takes.
Yeah, we might not, because you normally take a few, and we played a couple. We played Canopy.
Well, the only game I'm only taking one game with me, and that's only because I do need to learn the rules to it because I'm demoing it for 2.5 days, and I've yet to do it. So it's like, and I get on people's backs for having rubbish demoers or something, so I can't be the one that turns up and having not learned the game.
So every night, the plan is to do them at 10:30 German time, which will be 9:30 UK time, which will be 8:30 GMT. The only one that might be slightly different is the one on the Thursday night, because I've got the Gaming Rules meetup, and I might be later back. But other than that, it should be every night. So this isn't part one. Part one is actually tomorrow. So there's part one Tuesday, part two, part three, part four, part five, part six, part seven. See, we normally do one when I get back here.
But you're going to leave a bit early.
But depending on what time we get back here, I've got to get a train back.
We get back quite early because you're not leaving until something like 8ish or something, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be here for a while.
Okay, so part 7 will be us two sat here saying what we've played.
Yeah, put it this way: it's in the morning for the thing back. I know you convinced me to stay on the Monday, but that doesn't mean I'm having a lie on the Monday.
We're going to get up Monday morning and we're going to come back
quite early. So I mean,
but I won't be getting home till about 11:30.
Nah,
which is too late for me to do a video when I get home. So.
Yeah, if you do a video on the Monday, it will probably be a late afternoon, early evening one.
Yeah. Okay. So that will be part 7. So if you're interested in seeing what I get up to while I'm out in Essen, then there will be live streams every night. That's it.
And hopefully I'll find more hidden gems.
Yeah. And then what content? You're not making any content while you're out there.
Nah, this is
you'll be posting on social media.
Yeah, it'll be social media and that. I mean, working out has just basically run me down lately, so I haven't been able to do any extra videos lately. I've got reviews that I'll do when I get back.
Right.
But this is kind of a break. It's like I just need to play a bunch of demos and post on the social media as to whether I think, this could be the new hotness for the year.
I won't be posting anything on my social media over the next 7 days. So if you're interested, follow Luke, Broken Meeple on Facebook. Are you still using that other social media site that we don't talk about anymore?
Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter/X. Yeah.
Okay, right. Luke will be updating that over the next 7 days while he's there. I won't be posting anything at all, but I will be doing. Yeah. I will be doing these video logs each.
I tried to do the vlogs last year, and it was kind of weird because I was doing it from a tablet.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know.
First year I did it from the iPad.
I mean, to be fair, I did it last year. I don't know. Maybe if I feel like it, maybe I'll try that again. Maybe because Hilmar wouldn't say no to it. I'm sure.
Where were you staying last year?
Your place.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, because remember we had that faff trying to get the car parked.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And I did the vlog. I think I did the vlogs in my room.
Well, if you
I had your mate as a roommate. I was saying this time I've got Hilmar. So I mean, I'm taking my tablet. Maybe I can do the vlogs each night. Hilmar would join in.
I don't know. If you don't, you can join me on one of mine.
I thought you had a mate from.
No, I'm different people each night.
Oh right,
it's not the same person every night. So
Oh god, there might be a night there, but
anyway, we've rambled enough. The chat is all blurry to me, so I can't read it because if I put my glasses on, it's too far away, and if I take my glasses off, it's all blurry. So I've not read anything in the chat. Apologies for that. I will go downstairs now and I will read through the chat messages, assuming that I ticked the box to say replay live chat. Otherwise, it all disappears. Yeah.
No, it should be there. Will I use Discord? Yeah, I'll post some stuff to there as well.
Okay. Thank you very much for everybody for watching. Thank you very much to all of our Patreon supporters. Luke has his own Patreon channel as well, The Broken Meeple. Mm-hmm. I've got my own Patreon, obviously, Gaming Rules. So if you like the content that either of us make, feel free to support us on Patreon. And I will speak to you in about 24 hours' time.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Hope to see some of you there.
See you all later. I don't even have an end screen configured. I'll do that later. Cheers, everybody. Bye.
Bye for now.